Hello, welcome again to the Kidney Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a classic Indian dish, chicken biryani. Indian cuisine is not something that I know a lot about. I'd like to learn a lot more about it and Indian culture, but we've come up with this pretty simple chicken biryani recipe that I hope you're going to enjoy. It's all done in one pot again, so you know I like my one pot dishes, that's great. Classic ingredients, some spices, Indian curry paste, and of course your basmati rice that I've soaked, and I've just given it a quick rinse just to get, sometimes when you open a packet of rice it gets a bit dusty, so I've just run that under some cold water just to release the grains a little bit. Again, a few vegetables. Some chicken is our main ingredient, and we'll start by doing that first. I've got about 400 grams there of lovely skinless, boneless chicken breasts that I'm just going to cut into equal bite-sized chunks. You can see those two chicken breasts are easily going to do 4 people. I actually made this last night at home for my tea. I can tell you it's really good, really lovely, and there was plenty there as well. So I did 4 portions yesterday, exactly this recipe, and there was loads to go around. So there you go, that's my 2 breasts, evenly diced up. Very important part now, because you've been cutting raw meat on your board, to go and wash that thoroughly. Nice clean board. Now I'm going to start my vegetables. I've already chopped a large onion, finely diced my onion, and now I've got some French beans. I'm just going to top and tail these, which means just a little bit on the top there, tiny little bit on the bottom. Just nick those off. You can use frozen beans, you could use runner beans as well if you wanted to. Just got to chop my beans now, just going to slice them nice long pieces. Again, equal sizes so they cook evenly. I do love green beans, but I prefer runner beans myself. I love runner beans. My grandmother used to put clotted cream on runner beans. Absolutely lovely, and being in Cornwall, try it, runner beans and clotted cream, ever so good. Okay, so there we go, we're just about ready to start frying off all the ingredients. I've got a nice curry paste there. I chose a tikka masala curry paste. Depending on how hot you want your curry really, you know, you can get the korma one, which is milder again. I picked the chicken tikka masala, which is a bit more of medium heat if you like, but if you like it hot, the madras, or what's the other really hot one you can get as well. You can choose that depending on how hot you like your curries. Okay, let's get frying. Okay, a couple of ounces of butter to start with. Just get that there in my pan. My new frying pan, which I'm really delighted about. I made the same dish last night in this pan, so this is my new toy. So just melt your butter, and then I'm going to fry off my chopped onion. So 1 large diced onion, so fry that in my butter. This is going to take about 10 minutes, I think, just so your onion is nice and soft. But I'm going to add my spices as well to that. And then I've got some turmeric powder and some ground cinnamon. And there's my spices. You know, we always talk about the importance of frying off the spices, just so you haven't got that really harsh taste in your mouth. More so importantly here. So we give that a good 10 minutes, release all those flavours, get your onion coated in all those spices. And last of all, a bay leaf. Again, I'm lucky to have a bay leaf bush in my garden. Put that in there as well. A dried bay leaf's fine if you haven't got access to fresh ones. So they're nice and soft now. This is where the smell really starts coming in, and the whole house smells of your curry. Now ready for my chicken. Turn the heat up just a little bit. So just about 5 minutes in your pan here. Just get a bit of colour on the chicken. And now it's taken on all that yellow turmeric colour as well, and the cinnamon. I love the fact it's all done in a big one pot as well. It's a bit like making a paella, I suppose, or risotto. You know, once you've had the rice, it all soaks up all those lovely flavours as well. Almost a little bit of starch will come out of the rice and create a lovely, lovely dish. There you go, so a nice bit of colour on that now. Now we're going to add our tikka masala paste. Get that all in there. There's your lovely paste. Again, it's just as important to fry your spices off, just fry your paste off as well, just to release some of those flavours. You can see that really coming together now. Lovely smell, and also a great colour this dish as well. And now my rice. Some of basmati rice, so again pre-washed, and that goes. And again, make sure you coat all that lovely rice with all that flavour in your pan. And now I'm just going to add my my stock. I've got some low salt chicken stock, quite a bit there. I've got 850 mils, which when I made it last night I thought was way too much. But at the end of the dish, I actually ended up adding a little bit more. So I'll just turn the heat up just a little bit and just bring up your stock to the boil. Just a really light simmer, and then I'm going to add my vegetables to that afterwards. So you can see, just bring it up to the boil, slightly simmering now. Let's get these beans in there. There's my beans, and then just me frozen peas to go in. So there you go, all my ingredients in. Now just lower the heat on your pan, and that's going to sit there for about 25-30 minutes. The lid on. You can put it in the oven. I've got a pan here with plastic handles actually, so I can't put my pan in the oven, but ones with metal handles you can, but be careful you don't buy the plastic ones. So this one I'm just going to leave on the top of the stove to cook, just like I did last night. And it took about, say, 25-30 minutes. Keep stirring it as well, don't just leave it on there. After 10 minutes, come and give it a bit of a stir, again after 20 minutes. And we'll keep it on there until all the vegetables, and especially your chicken, are cooked. Okay, so that's 10-15 minutes has passed now. I'm just going to have a look. And there you can see, look, already how much that rice has taken on that liquid. It even surprised me yesterday when I made it. It did look like a lot of liquid, but look at that. It's all 3/4 gone now. We've still got another 10 minutes cooking time. So there you go. You can see what I mean when it says it all comes together like a risotto or a paella. All that rice has absorbed all that lovely flavour. And it's the sort of dish that you want to just serve, you know what I mean? I wouldn't recommend reheating a rice dish or freezing a rice dish perhaps, because it's you have to reheat them very, very well in a microwave if you're going to do that. But I wouldn't recommend that. It's the sort of dish you want to serve, put it on your table to your guests, serve it straight away and eat it for your dinner. Same with a risotto or a paella, do exactly the same. Lovely. Okay, that's half an hour now on my biryani. Let's just give it a test. There you go, as you can see it's still nice and moist. Still a little bit of liquid in there, which is what you want. Rice is perfect, yep. I've already tested my chicken, that's all cooked through nicely. Now we'll portion up You can see there's plenty here. This is for the recipe's for 4 people, but so I had some last night, and it was a very filling dish. There you go. Just a little bit of chopped coriander just to finish the dish off. And there you go, just a little bit of chopped coriander on the dish. And as usual, my nice chefy sprig of coriander on top. And there we have it, our chicken biryani. Just got to invite Laura now, our dietitian with us today, who's been keeping an eye on things, keeping an eye on me, to come and try this dish. How are you, Laura?
Yeah, good, thanks, Paul.
Nice one. You a fan of Indian cuisine?
Yeah, it smells delicious. It does. I've
room
been
spill,
smelling
isn't
it,
it?
from outside, and it looks lovely, doesn't it? Nice
There's
sort of colours.
Loads there, I think, as well. Look, that's 4 portions. I had it from the tea last night, and
it could stretch to sort of more like 6, couldn't it?
I think so. Yeah, there's lots to go around. Yeah, and very filling as well. Obviously, the rice and the chicken, and it was plenty. Didn't need any more.
Nice sort of starchy meal, isn't it?
It is
nice
great.
And filling.
Yeah. What do I have any accompaniments with that at all? I know I did last night. Perhaps I shouldn't have done, but I had some mango chutney or some lime pickle or.
Yeah, I think you could add a small amount of.
Just a little bit.
Of those kind of flavours. Yeah, just a little bit if you needed it. I'm sure you don't need it though.
Have a try.
It's a smell like it's got plenty of flavour. We've tried to keep the salt down, and most of the salt that ends up in this dish actually comes from the curry paste. So we were talking about whether you can make your own curry paste.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really squeaky beans. No, that was nice. I think sometimes people, when they're leading up to needing dialysis, they do get some strange tastes in their mouth, and people often talk about having a metallic taste in their mouth. So sometimes having a different flavour or stronger flavours like the sort of Indian spices can cut through that.
Sure, well that's interesting.
So that's a good one. And of course, if they've been advised to have a lower protein diet, then they might want to take the chicken out of it.
And you can add more vegetables, could you? Some different vegetables. I said about runner beans and things like that instead. If you want to omit the chicken,
potentially you could. Add a few more vegetables to it.
Could become a vegetable biryani.
Yeah, vegetable biryani.
Use vegetable low salt stock instead of
rather than the chicken stock. Yeah, and you can get these sort of very low stocks now as well. So it's another way of keeping the salt intake down, which is good for everybody really. So like you say, there's not so much salt, but there's loads of flavour still.
Yeah, sure.
So
and I did say about
the
heat of the dish as well. I chose a medium heat one, but you could go a bit spicier if you wanted to, couldn't you? Madras or whatever the hotter one is again.
Lots of different curry paste available.
Yeah, and actually the salt content was the same in each one. I did have a look, and whether you're using a korma one or the higher one, the hotter one, it was the same.
The salt is going to be the same. It's just the amount of the spices. So yeah,
great.
Good.
Thanks for trying it.
No, thank you. Lovely.